Hi, Michael Holm again. I think I mentioned about the volunteering at Winnick Hospital in a previous video, and that ended with me going on a course at the local university. And so in 1993, I began this course in computing. It was an MSc, and it was a 1 year course. I met Claire, my late wife, my first and late wife. So in '94, second part of the course, if you like, we sort of got together. Claire was a lot older than me. She was 15 years older than me, and we were both living with our parents in a way. Actually, well, we were literally, and we were brought together by well, not so much our love of music. It was more my love of music because Claire was trying to escape music by doing a MSc in computing. I didn't expect to find a music teacher on the course. So uh, we were together for 18 years in total. Claire had rheumatoid arthritis, which came on quite soon after her mum died due to stress, I think, and that got like progressively worse, and she became ultimately disabled, and my mental health um, got got worse too. Um, so Claire, before I got a job after successfully getting the MSc in computing, Claire helped me find work in a piano warehouse, which was very exciting for me actually. That was around about 94, 95, 96. And um, unfortunately though, I met a rather eccentric pianist there. He was an amateur pianist, but he was an exceptionally gifted and and technically formidable pianist, and we had a misunderstanding, and I put all this trust in him, and he kind of launched this terrible sort of somewhat psychological attack on me, and it literally put me back in the hospital. In the Priory back in 1995. Now, the purpose of this video actually is about the need to to do things, and like I did the MSc, like I did the piano warehouse, and just keep going, trying things. You've got to try things to develop as a person. And in 1997, I actually got a job in the same university that I got my MSc, the same university department even. Um, and that they sort of had to give me the job because I was uniquely qualified for it. So I spent 13 years in that university. The second year there, I was in hospital again. I started getting quite delusional, and that's when I got my bipolar diagnosis. So all along, Claire was getting increasingly disabled. I was getting increasingly um, mentally unwell, but it wasn't my mental unwellness wasn't helped by Claire because naturally, with her being 15 years older than me and in a wheelchair, she sort of needed me, and I think she encouraged my over um, medication, particularly with risperidone. And so I was made redundant in 2010, and 2 years later, Claire died, and it was after Claire died in 2012 that things really moved on for me. See what when maybe I should have left Claire a long time ago, but we like to know the outcome of decisions. This is true for everybody. If a decision has to be made, it can be made much easier if we know the result of what that decision would be. Now, if I was to decide like I'm going to have fried eggs today, I get fried eggs today, and that isn't a big decision, is it? But but when we make this like life-changing decisions, we don't know. We don't know what's going to become of us, and it's fearful. It's a bit dangerous, and it can be easiest just to not do them at all. And so I end up with Claire for 18 years. I end up in a stupid job for 13 years, which I didn't do much in anyway. And it's like the book by um can't remember the name. Feel the fear and do it anyway. It's a famous book whose author I can't remember just right now. But there was a couple of memes I come across on Facebook um which were sort of relevant to what I'm saying now, and I've written them down. So um one of them one of them says good judgment comes from experience, and experience, well, that comes from poor judgment. It's very true. You just don't know. You've just got to do stuff and hope the best and learn things. The next one, the help I didn't get was all the help I ever needed. You see, what this is all about really in this channel, in a way, it's like, you keep going, do things, don't just give in and drink alcohol, take drugs, do nothing. Just keep trying things, because one day, hopefully, if we don't mistreat ourselves, and we give ourselves the best chance, one day we will realize that all the bad things we ever went through in life, we had, we had to do it, and we know that for sure when we get somewhere. I just thought I'd end with a poem. Um, I should have got the book ready, so I'm going to vanish off the screen for a second. I'm just going to read. So I've got my book. I'm just going to read this poem now. It's see, when Claire died, uh, I don't think she'd not been the best of partners for me, but I had to um, I had to acknowledge her life and her death, and I thought about her for like at least 18 months, pretty every day, because she died. A person had died. I always like this poem, and I'm going to share this poem with you now. It's called Transition. Amongst my favourites, this. So, Transition. Day 1. Waking early. The first thing is to see if I'm Facebooked or tweeted. I've got that newfangled internet addiction disorder. I don't work, so I drink coffee, then walk. I say hello to everybody. Those who don't catch my eye haven't realised that we're all navigating this confusion called self. The sooner we sense commonality, the sooner we smile. Day 2. This is like day 1, only I can't afford Costa. The boating lake woman thinks my Pepsi is beer. I say I'm a teetotal non-smoker. Her husband asks if I'm a virgin. The remainder is spent enjoying music and surfing the web. I meet this new online poet. I'm happy. Day 3. I visit town despite being broke. I buy a box set of AC/DC and listen all day. I get excited and spam Facebook with track names. My neighbours rock through a thin wall. In the morning it clicks. I haven't thought about it for 3 days. I realise with guilt, then acceptance, that I've stopped mourning. I recognise that I've mourned for the past 18 months.